Pound. 60. Pound L. 44. 65. 51. $40. 60.
You know what that is?
I reckon I do. That's where you used to grade the backers. We don't know how to tie, I'll have to come teach you how to tie.
Oh, they got some time. Hey! You know, back there they had sucker in the backer too, didn't
That's somewhat good suckers, didn't I?
How are you today?
Just fine, how y'all doing?
Look at those wound bucket, Marjorie.
Oh, my, I had
Yeah.
it glassed in, I think it was.
No, they just had this over to protect it.
Okay.
And this is your canvas.
Canvas, yeah.
Yeah, you used to take it up and tie it in knots and put it away for the next year.
I've got some of that in.
This is your old transplanter. Lord, I did hate them things.
I've
Have to walk backwards and drop
some of
it.
this stored in my quilt pots, in pots. Some of that old back canvas.
But now,
We used, there's one in home somewhere, one of these old transplanter, boy, I wrote to me.
you remember this?
Well, I know it's a bucket, what kind of bucket it is.
This is a well bucket. And here's your tobacco patch.
Yeah.
Your plow points, your shears. You know what that is up there? You don't remember?
This
It's a grading
grading thing.
A grading table.
Well, I never did work on one that large.
Well, you had three sitting at it.
No,
And you had-
that was a bench to go.
I'll tell you, we didn't grade and tie the beat.
Lord, this looks like the Amish country right here now. This is what we used to look like, but now it looks like the Amish country. I went up in Pennsylvania, and we stopped by the houses, and they had these old long things and the wash pot and all that, the soap and all.
Oh, my land.
How about that? Looks
I've
real.
jobbed the clothes in a wash pot many times.
With lye. With lye.
Do
we
you
used to-
remember doing that?
Oh, sure. And then we'd make soap.
Mm-hmm.
Ever so many moons you made soap with old homemade lard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, out of the smokehouse you had a lot of skippers. They'd get the meat in it.
cracklings,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
We used it to make soap.
And you
tobacco don't grow like that now, does it?
No, it's not that. It's not that pretty. It's not. It's pretty.
No, we used to grow tobacco that grew up tall like that.
But it wasn't that pretty.
Wouldn't
Look
that-
at this, Marjorie.
Oh,
Now, I never did
don't
use
have-
one of these. Never did, but I did use this.
Well, I seen my daddy using it.
I did use, what do they call this now? Do you know? You know Scarborough had one.
It's a sprayer, sometimes a sprayer, isn't it?
I know, but we used to have a pump, a water pump,
Mhm.
when the log handles come out. What was it they called them? Do you remember? I know that's a tobacco spray, but
You put
We
that
used to have a
on a
pump
drag. Well, it's on a drag. You
yes,
put
I
some
know
mule
that.
to it, and go by and pump, and then it's sprayed on later.
Name?
Yeah, he was in the Navy. We'd been married, we got married, I reckon we'd been married 6 months or 9 months, and he had to go to service.
Oh, my Lord, look yonder at the horse and wagon.
So,
We'll go right on.
he got back in 45, and we set up housekeeping and lived happy ever ever. We've been married now. That don't look like the one when they do it. You remember making spaghetti?
They're making that now for the restaurants.
No, I never did make no spaghetti.
Huh?
I never made no spaghetti.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I
Take your breath. Look here, Marjorie. Look at the barn. Look at the shoe.
Now there's one I was.
Now you know I
I
bet me and you tied a hand to this, don't you? That looks like something that I tied.
Now I could tie the back pretty. Now there's one like I'd tie. That one.
Well, now this looks more like mine.
That's the kind Dan used to tie. But now mine looks like this.
Well, you had a prissy hand and a big hand, and mine was little, and I couldn't get it
That's
around.
that's the only bundle of sea like I tied.
And maybe you didn't tie as much as I did. I just love coming in here. Our church group was in here a couple of weeks ago, and we
I had one of
really
these
enjoyed it. The preacher wasn't born
I had-
on the farm,
I
and he
had
was
a-
just amazed.
I had a basket like that.
I got one like that.
And Nelson begged me for it. Well, Hayes had already told me he wanted it, and then Nelson, he wanted it. I said, now, I've already given it to Hayes. You can make arrangements with Hayes about it.
I got one like that.
Anyhow, he got it.
Are they?
Worth how much?
You want to buy mine? Well, I'll sell it to you.
Nelson got mine and he varnished.
Man,
You know, cleaned
kind.
it up and varnished right on that horse.
I love. You do? All right, come on. You want me to help you up there, or can you get up there?
Well, I guess I believe the old horse's bolts. I don't believe it moved.
I used to ride it. But now, you know me and Jack.
We're from Haines.
It were the wagon.
I haven't been there in a while.
It was the horseback. We'd ride the road cart, and then we'd get off of that and we'd ride horseback. That's the way I do my courting. Wasn't that sweet?
Hey, that's all.
Youngster down the wagon.
We don't have.
I'm talking about the guinea.
We don't have one each.
Now, was that a real one, and had it
They was stuck.
this?
Well, short yellow. That's what we do.
Yeah. Ours was deeper than that.
I was in one lumber berry.
Skim juice. She skimmed the syrup after it's poured in the pans. See, the pans had sections. And she'd skim
This
it.
road too.
But we'd start at them. How many
I don't
ounces?
log back more to the front.
How many ounces?
Come here. I thought a door would go like that.
Yeah. In here.
Oh, my Lord, it's hanging
Get
out
out
where
where
you can see it. I thought you were the statue. I didn't know you were. I don't know what I'll say next.
But now, Marjorie, this is tied by hand. Like we used
Like we used to see. Well, how have you preserved it this long?
Well, they got vents up there and lights and shit, I don't know. But wouldn't you love to have a chew of twist tobacco?
No, ma'am.
Well,
Never
it's,
put none in my mouth. while I
oh,
lived
it
in
was
the street.
good. That was the best, the sweetest. Ralph Johnson used to have it. And every time I'd get up with him, I'd say, oh, this feels real.
Oh, yeah, I remember all about it. And then I first got married in 2 of us, got empty, I born up there high, you know how high old Backer barn was.
Yeah.
He'd get up, they taught me how to put it down on the lower tier, and then get on the lower tier and hand it to me, and I'd lay it on the dirt, and then after you get down, pick it up off the dirt and put it in the drag and carry it back out.
But now there's one thing short in here. What is it? You don't know what it is?
I don't know what you're thinking about. Read it,
Take the hair off of them, butcher them, and while,
You did this?
oh yeah, and whenever we'd go in and cook the liver and spare ribs
Mm-hmm.
and rice together, that's what everybody eat that day for dinner. And then we'd get out in the yard and then we'd riddle and stuff them to make your sausage. And then you put them on a tobacco stick and hung them in the smokehouse and cured them with oak wood.
And they stay.
Yes, yeah, and it was good eating.
Oh, I know it is.
And that ham, ooh, honey, that was the best in the world. You'd really enjoy it.
Oh, I know. Look,
Huh?
What is it?
It's a corn sheller. And this is a corn basket. You carry that, shoot your corn, put it in there, and then you got over here and you shelled it. And then you fed the chickens or whatever. But now we'd have to reap
inside.
Yeah, you didn't use the ends of it. You just got the center of it. You shell that, and that's what next year's crop of seed. That was your seed corn.
Save your own seed. Now you can't even save your own seed.
That's right.
Hybrid corn now.
And you can't find no white corn either, can you? Not white field corn. But that's the basket and that's the sheller. And I got one on my back porch just like it. Wouldn't take nothing for it. Hey, y'all.
On the tobacco farm.
Because I can remember planting tobacco with a peg too,
I
but
do too.
when it was wet. And
But
that,
now, well, this is the first thing I ever remember
Oh, yeah,
doing
that-
back with is
Yeah.
a transplanter.
yeah. But if you get,
And then if there come a big rain, you peg that tobacco. You reset.
Yeah.
Reset's what we call it.
Yeah.
well, I know one thing, at the end of the day, your back was broken.
Amen.
But we didn't use a peg, we used our hand.
Oh,
Push it down and
you
put
were too
it.
poor to afford
pack it.
poor to afford the peg, so you just used your
Well, if you
hand.
put the peg and put it in there and tap it on the top, a lot of time you didn't get dirt to the roots.
Well,
And it would die, and then you'd have to reset it again.
well, we had pretty good records. Maybe we were better tapping you were.
Y'all was a better tapper.
Yeah.
In spring,
Well, now, maybe he's not as old as we
in
are.
the spring, we never used to have showers of rain, and that's when you set your tobacco.
Oh,
right
yeah.
in.
If it,
Now it would die every time. Because it's too dry.
most time we didn't have much trouble unless it, you know,
Tell me about it.
Did you make,
No, what is it?
it's a tobacco barn, and they pick the tobacco out of the fields, they put it in here, and then, isn't that right? And then they bring it into the barn, and this is where the smoke, where they're curing the tobacco are in here, and they've got it hanging up here. Now, isn't this for the,
That's where they hang it when they bring it out of the barn.
when they
get
bring
in
it out,
order.
then before they put it in there?
Before they take it
Before
out.
they take it out here. Now, what is it, mostly barley, what do you call it? Barley tobacco?
No, that's up in the mountains.
That's more mountains, isn't it?
Which is food cured.
Fluker, that's right, that's the fluke. And we had in High Point, one of our early
Okay, we're gonna leave it. And in case you need a little treat.
Unless something happened that ticked him off, and I have no idea what that could be. Or maybe he's camper shot.
Well, I doubt that.
that. Well, she said, "I'm gonna be 55."
I didn't know what,
You get a break out of you, but I was eating too much food, so I started bringing my lunch again.
yeah, eat and eat and eat.
And that's one of my weaknesses.
I tell you.
Were well known. Mike Petros, I believe is his name, in the old brick warehouse. And then I tried sales, and then I went to something with Williams Furniture for years. In the county. Williams went bankrupt. Some guy called it from Georgia Pacific in '83, and he went bankrupt in 2 years. Turnover. And there's nothing around here unless you go to the beach. They're not supposed to discriminate against age, but they do. Sometimes we, use it free. The Tobacco Growers Association came in at their meeting, but it was I guess the board.
Okay, you good?
No, it's a cigarette end cutter. It would cut, put your pack of cigarettes in there. Oh, now I've never seen one.
Well, I've seen those.
The exact reproduction of that, there's probably ads in the story. And where this one stops, our satina will picks up. So see, our nurse put this thing burn and burn everything in half. Everything 64.
That cuts the top.
And that's the cigarette. Put the plug in the no, 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 no. Then, come out here. This took a little while to figure out what this was.
What was that one? Her grandmother was
I think it's 105.
lived to 105, smoked a corn cob back every day, and made her own. Took it from the fields, and I bet she did. I bet she ground it up.
When we tried this, it's got to be really in order. It's just, it can't be too limp, it can't be too brittle.
Oh.
Just has to be just
Just
right.
right.
Because
Yeah.
otherwise it turns into a powdery mess.
Many, many years.
Uh-huh.
So mechanic, he knows all this stuff.
Well, not growing up in tobacco, I did the best I could to create the thing, but people come in and say, you need so-and-so, and lo and behold, there it comes. And it's just learning. Well, I grew up on a farm, but it was cotton and cattle.
And so he farmed tobacco from my husband,
Mhm.
and he was great help in my.
I'm going to find out a few things I'm horrible. These all are part of that exhibit, the tour stack.
I had the line number 3. This oh, yeah, halfway
From
from
college, and
So,
we
for the
went
band, they-
together about 12 years ago.
16 months.
I'm not allowed to touch the phone. You just don't know how I appreciate that.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
I love working with creative people.
we're gonna need to sit you down too, and get your thoughts of museum and what. Well, let me ask this, the video that I saw mentioned the other day, they're sitting on this little thing, and they just sit down and they just, do they not harvest back of that way anymore?
No, heavens no, it's all done by mechanical. Yeah. No, you don't have to let people fix back.
Well, we can still use that video.
Oh, no, well, I mean, you might find two farmers, but I mean, in general, it's all done by machine.
Maybe that's the
Well-
part where he's talking about, it's all mechanical.
I need to get that. Like at Christmas time, we had toys, just the center display. And this kind of spilled over because I had some bigger stuff, but the next one will be, sugary lemon stuff for the spoiled school. See if parents live here, and I'm planning that for August, probably Christmas, I mean, yeah,
They live in a nice setup.
yeah. Oh, you need that right now? So I have a lot of military
Well,
stuff.
you
Use that, doesn't it? I'll let you know. Sure. Well, right on the street, I have. Yeah. Yeah, you can't even go in there and knock down with them. So you won't learn to do something.
That's unusual.
No.
I'm gonna cuss me out.
For a long time trying to find who I wanted, you know, because if I'm gonna do this, I want it to be the best that I know that it can be. And that's why when I saw yours, I said, this is it, that's the end of the search. Oh, I know I will. Well, I couldn't afford to be.
Really?
Oh, man, I just couldn't figure out, you know, this is where I'd like to have the boom. We could do a real high angle with a low angle all the way back. It'd be perfect.
We worked hard on that.
But you know what, I didn't shoot much in this room, I just kind of did one wide shot, and I kind of shot it with both. Because this is kind of, this is what we put together. You like it? Very neat.
Well, this is one I'm not sure you want to say. This will be good promotional.
Well, this is gonna be more of a promotional work.
Just the one that's on down.
But I mean,
There's so-and-so, but they use some actual options here, and let the people in. And so I said, well, you know, that was kind of a topic. So we sent to a duplicating service, and what we did is it cost the take home $12. We did four. Yeah. Well, see, that with PD Research Center, they didn't care either, but I felt like that would promote, they could take that little $4 it take and do something else with it.
well, see, really what I'm doing, Meg, is I'm going out and doing this.
I know.
I mean,
I'm trying to make the list.
Did I tell you, John?
That's
$50 a tape,
not too bad.
so we're $200 in so far. We'll probably go through 6 or 7, 8 tapes.
Like with them.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm saying, will you make that thing work?
No, Jerry, 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 he's now left, he wasn't Francis. He's now at North Carolina. He's a good friend of Jerry,